Hi, I'm Brent. Today we've got a video update on some suspension improvements for the Mustang V8. Now, I'm standing underneath this particular model car. Here we are in 2018, and this particular model car has recently been delivered to the client, and he's chosen a Whiteline suspension grip kit to be included, which is sway bars, springs and heavy duty links. And what we're going to show you in this video is the parts that we're fitting, how they improve the car's handling, and then we're going to do another video at the end to show you what they look like after they're fitted. So you can see on the ground behind me, we've got the rear sway bar, the front sway bar, the rear springs and the front springs, and of course the heavy duty sway bar links, both front and rear. Now let's just talk about these particular models together, because one of the advantages of these parts is they're a hollow bar, which reduces the weight, because on the front one you'll notice in particular it's very, very big in diameter and they can get quite heavy. So when you're choosing parts, Whiteline is starting to move towards some of these hollow diameter sway bars to reduce the mass. It comes with heavy duty links, which allows us to adjust the tension on either side to balance the sway bar correctly when it's fitted. Brand new mounts, and of course these shoulder washers which bolt onto the sway bar, stop the sway bar moving sideways. Now some particular model cars have these fitted factory, but typically Whiteline are supplying these in a lot more kits these days to make sure that you've got a little bit of better improvement with the location of the sway bar when you're fitting an aftermarket part. Now of course we're also fitting their heavy duty lowered springs both on the front and the rear, and these will work with the original factory shock absorbers as well. And the advantage is when all this goes back together, the car is going to have less body roll. Now, one of the things I want to talk about is just how these things work. So a sway bar is designed to resist body roll when you're going around corners. A spring is designed to support the car when you're driving down the road. So typically a lot of people will put a lowered spring in because it looks a lot better. A little bit stiffer in its spring rate because you're reducing the ride height, so therefore the bump travel when the suspension is going up is reduced. So you do need to run a slightly stiffer spring, but when it's matched correctly with the right shock absorber factory fitted, as in the case of these kits from Whiteline, you get a pretty good ride quality and a pretty good looking car from an outside point of view, but at the same time when it goes around corners with the sway bars, you can notice the difference as well. So let's have a look at the front parts so you get a bit of an idea of what we've fitted or what we're about to fit, because at the end of this video we'll do another one and show you what they're like when they're fitted. So you'll notice just how big the sway bar is on the front, because being a V8 engine in the front of this particular model is quite heavy, so there is a tendency for a lot of body roll. And of course being a hollow bar, there's nowhere near as heavy as if this was a solid steel bar. And this is one of the big advantages with these particular parts from Whiteline. And of course you can see the rest of the parts similar to the rear that we're going to be fitting. So let's just have a look at the factory standard parts in the car and you get a bit of an idea of what we've got to fit. So we've got the original factory spring, which has got to be dismantled and fitted in there with the aftermarket spring from Whiteline. And down the front here, in behind here, is the sway bar that goes right around the front and in the bottom of the front of the engine. We've got to pull all this under tray off. So it's not something you want to try doing at home. And of course we're going to replace the sway bar link here, which connects the sway bar to the bottom of the shock absorber with the new Whiteline heavy duty one as well. So let's just go out the back and have a look at the suspension. You'll notice how different it is on the rear end because it doesn't have a McPherson strut. And I'll come around the back here because it's a lot easier to see the parts. So there's the spring that we're going to remove, the sway bar link and the sway bar. So all these parts, when you see our next video, will be replaced with the new Whiteline parts. And the other advantage is these parts are designed to work with the factory shock absorbers, and the rear suspension you'll notice got an independent shock absorber and spring, as on the front it's got a strut type design and the shock absorber is built into the strut combined with the spring. So all those parts will be fitted back together. So we are a Whiteline distributor for these parts, and if you're looking for suspension improving enhancements on your particular model car, we ship all over the world and sell a lot of these parts in Australia, and of course here in our workshop in Sydney we supply and fit as well. And when we get them supplied and fitted for you, we give lifetime warranty on these parts. So of course you can follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter and Instagram. Go to our website at mrtperformance.com.au where you'll find all these parts listed. And of course, if you've got the Turbo Mustang model, which is also sold here in Australia, we do offer tunes for that as well. But for now, my name is Brett Middleton. Check out our next video. We'll show you what all these parts look like fitted. Thanks for watching.